I never expected the night to unravel the way it did one man. That's a fun night too. Now it's getting interesting, but three men in one night? You're not ready? I wasn't either. It started with Alex. The kind of guy who didn't need to try to stand. Out tall, confidential, and charming in a way that made your skin tingle before he even touched you. Our eyes met before I even stepped inside the bar. He smiled like he already knew I'd be his next adventure. "Hey," he said, leaning in. Just enough to make my breath catch. "Clara," I replied, heart-thawing, already knowing this night was going somewhere. He was playful, bold, magnetic. A few drinks in, and he whispered, "Let's get out of here." And I wanted to. His touch was fire, his kiss. Even hotter, but just as I was ready to fall into him completely, I saw Ryan. He stood alone at the edge of the party. Quiet, composed, intense, the opposite of Alex. There was something about him that made everything else fade. He didn't approach. He waited like he knew I'd come to him, and I did. "Ryan," he said. Voice low, gaze. Steady. We talked, really talked. Asked questions. No one ever did. Made me feel seen, understood. "You're free tonight, Clara," he whispered, brushing his fingers across my arm. No rules, just truth. Then came James. He walked in, and the entire room shifted. He didn't smile. To charm. He didn't need to power radiated from him. He didn't ask for attention. He commanded it in the moment. The saw me. He didn't stop, he moved. Straight toward me, unbothered by Alex's fire or Ryan's depth. "You look like you want something more," he said, his voice deep and sure. "Let me give it to you." And suddenly I was standing between all three of them. Three different kinds of energy pulling me apart. Alex with heat, Ryan with intensity, James with domination. What do you do when every part of you wants to say yes? You stopped thinking, and I did. One kiss turned into another, one touch into a storm I wasn't choosing. I was letting go, giving in the chaos I never knew. I craved that night. I stopped being the version of myself that always played it safe. I stepped into the unknown, fully, wildly, recklessly. The morning after was brutal. I woke up alone. Sheets, tangled makeup, smudged heart, pounding with the weight of everything my body remembered. Every moment, so did my mind. But beneath the hangover and guilt was something else, power. I had never felt more alive, more in control of my own desire. I stood at the edge of the mirror and didn't recognize the woman staring back. She was braver, bolder, dangerous. Had I ruined something? Maybe had I found something deeper? Definitely. I wasn't the same Clara who walked into that party, and I couldn't go back. This wasn't the end of my story. It was the beginning. Clara had stepped out of the house, but her steps were shaky with uncertainty. The sun had just risen, its soft light spreading across the street, and the air carried the melancholy of the night that had passed. She could still hear the faint echoes of the party. James's whispers, Ryan's calm gaze, and Alex's untamed energy. Everything felt like a dream, but the effects of that dream still lingered on her skin like an unforgettable touch. What was all this, she asked herself, but no one was there to answer in or freedom. She stopped near a cafe where people were grabbing their morning coffee, ready for another day at work. Everyone's lives seemed to be in order, and she was walking a pea path far from ordinary, a path with no way back. Had she really crossed a line, or was it just a fleeting moment of recklessness? But the truth was, she wanted to feel that recklessness again. Sipping her coffee, she took out her phone. A notification. Blinked. James had messaged last night was, "Incredible, can we meet again?" Her heart skipped a beat. She knew James's attention was like a dangerous game. Magnetic, but potentially destructive. Then came a message from Alex still. "Feel what we had last night. What do you want, Clara?" And the most surprising thing, Ryan hadn't sent anything. Was that a sign for her to forget him? Or was he waiting for Clarado? Make the first move. She was caught in a storm of motions. But one thing was clear. This story wasn't over. In fact, it was just beginning. Clara sat on the park bench, staring at her phone. James, Alex, and Ryan each of them had left mark on her, each offering something different, but now with the morning air cooling her flushed skin, she realized something. This wasn't about them. This was about her for so long she had been chasing. Excitement escaping monotony, searching for something to make her feel alive. Last night had given her that rush, but now in the daylight she saw things. Clearly she had spent the night lost in passion. But what came next? More nights like this. More moments blurred between pleasure and confusion, or something real. She took a deep breath and started typing. First, a message to James last night was unforgettable, but that's all it was. Let's leave it as a perfect memory then. To Alex, you're incredible, but I need to figure out what I really want. I hope you understand. She hesitated before opening Ryan's chat. His silence had left her unsettled. But maybe that was his answer. Maybe he wasn't waiting for her. Maybe he'd already moved on. Still, she typed, if you ever want to talk, I'm here. No expectations, no drama, just honesty. Clara turned off her phone and leaned back, closing her eyes. She had spent the night being pulled in 3 different directions, but now for the first time, in a long time, she was choosing herself, and that she realized was the most thrilling choice of all. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more gripping tales. And if you have a story of your own, share it in the comments below. Until next time, goodbye.